So what should people look for when purchasing Seamoss? That's a good question. I would look for something that doesn't look too dry and brittle, doesn't have a lot of black lines in it. Um, a lot of people talk about and I get in arguments about this a lot. A lot of people talk about the pool-grown sea moss. I really don't believe that there's anything such thing as pool-grown sea moss. I'm a pretty good person at searching the internet, and I looked, and I have not seen one video, one thing. The closest I've seen to pool-grown sea moss is a video where they basically they propagated the sea moss on the lines before they put it out in the ocean. And this is why I say it doesn't, like, there's no such thing as pool sea moss, because when you really sort of like logically think about the process of pool grown sea moss, you got to ask yourself, why would they grow it in the pool when the ocean is free? A pool costs money to produce. It costs money to run. It costs, like, there's pumps. There's you got to regulate the pH level. You got to make sure you got all the right nutrients. Those nutrients cost money. So how, like, if I have to put all this iodine, raw magnesium, raw this, all 92 components for the sea moss, and I try to mimic the seawater, I have to have all those minerals in there, and I got to know what the concentration of the minerals are in each. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just realistically, it's like there's no such thing as pool grown. This is what I think pool grown is. It's a different species. It's mass produced in Asia, and they dry it using industrial drying machines. I watched a video once where in the Philippines, they're drying the stuff in these boxes. And if I had to think about it, like, if I'm developing a drying machine to dry my sea moss, do I want the sea moss to get smaller, or do I want it to retain the weight? I want it to retain the weight, and that's why you see this stuff that's like thick and it just doesn't look normal. And it's also the type of species that is, that they use, which I find is real consistent in wild craft or wild harvest sea moss. So getting that's the thing about looking for the sea moss. So what I would look for is, I'm just gonna bring this close here. I would look for something that's soft. It can be dry and a little bit brittle. You want to avoid a lot of these black lines, and it's okay to have salt on the sea moss, right? Even with the sea moss here, there's no salt, but over time, as it dries and it cures, the salt forms. Because, guys, let's think of it realistically. This thing coming out of the ocean, right? It's from the sea. It's gonna have salt water on it, and when that salt water dries, it turns into salt. So I don't know why everybody has this up in arms about having salt in it. I mean, it's the type of salt that you should be looking for. And so the type of salt shouldn't be grainy, and it shouldn't look like actual large giant salt crystals.